What's going on, folks? We're back at the Stadium Studios for another edition of Fresh Look on Films presented by Wendy's, the official hamburger of NCAA football. I'm Michael Felder. You can find me, obviously. Going to go ahead and hold it up right here. You can find me in the Twitch chat. I'll be in the chat. I'm at It's Felder. I'm going to try to chat today. Hopefully my internet does not give up on me like it has in days past. I'm joined today by this strapping young lad.
Oh, you're going to make me blush.
2008 ACC Defensive Player of the Year, 2008 First Team All-American, a Super Bowl winner, cancer survivor, former Boston College star, Mark Herzlich. Now, before we say anything, tell people how to say your name and give me. I need to hear the method.
Yeah, a little method. So, well, first of all, it's Herzlich. It's from the German words for from the heart.
Got it.
Like Herzlich is from the heart.
All right.
But so what did I tell you before? I said it's like licking a cactus. It hurts to lick.
There we go.
Herzlich, that's me.
There we go. We're going to get into it. We're watching Boston College take on Wake Forest from 2008. You'll have a chance to win free burgers for a year and a team jersey, all by correctly answering a trivia question later on in the stream. We're going to get you warmed up with a couple other trivia questions. And here's how it works. We're going to ask you a question. You respond to us in the chat, and the first person to answer correctly is going to be the winner. It's pretty simple. They get a chance to win those free burgers for a year.
Where are the burgers from?
Burgers from Wendy's.
Ooh, hey, so fun fact about Wendy's burgers.
Yes.
I put on about 30 pounds from Wendy's burgers my senior year of high school because there was a Wendy's on the way home from
school.
Go. So every day on the way home, I'd get two junior bacon cheeseburgers.
JBCs?
And they were on $1 at that time. They were at only 99 cents.
Okay. All right, so let's practice some trivia so you guys can get, you can get the everyday burger.
Yes.
Just like Mark. Let's practice some trivia. Mark Herzlich was named 2008 ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Who was the only other Boston College to receive that honor? Now, this is interesting because you think about BC, a lot of great defensive players. All of them didn't play in the ACC.
Right. I mean, you go back in history and you think about guys who maybe would have won it. And you get Mike Ruth back in the day, and Bill Romanowski, another great kind of unknown BC. I don't know whether because he was so crazy, BC doesn't like embrace him as much. But
I mean, you think about it with Matthias Kiwanuka.
I mean, and that's a recent era guy. So, but we didn't come into the ACC until I think it was
05, 06.
I think it was 2005 was our first year in there, and then the next year I started at BC, and gosh.
Okay, someone named S. Herzlich.
Oh no, Dad.
He has already come in with the correct answer. It is Luke Kuechly. Yes, that is correct. It is Luke Kuechly.
What up, Dad?
There we go. I like this. Okay, we're gonna get it going. Let's go. Talk about BC. Kind of like because I went to UNC, so and then obviously we're in Chicago, Big Ten country. We're talking about schools there's some of these schools got 40,000 kids.
Yeah.
You're at BC. What's it like there? Like everybody's got to know you're the guy from the football team.
Right. Yeah. Well, and so I didn't help myself too much with my haircut. So anytime.
So even back in the day, still all forever.
Well, no. So not forever. But my mom. So my mom, Barbara Herzlich, wonderful lady. She kind of had this thing. She was like, "Look, I don't want you to get tattoos."
Sure.
I said, "Well, I mean, you can express yourself through tattoos, and they're pretty cool." She said, "Yeah, but they're permanent. Want to do whatever you want with your hair." So growing up, I had a really good 70s afro during high school. A huge afro. I had cornrows. I got braided every Thursday night right before my Friday night games.
I like your style.
In high school. Then single braid. So I had everything. And in 2008, 10 years ago is when the Mohawk
went to the Mohawk,
and it has stuck.
Just stuck ever since.
It's stuck. So, anyways, walking around BC with the Mohawk, and yes, people knew kind of who I was. Not to mention that in college, I don't know whether it's every school or not, but we always wear our team sweats everywhere we go.
It's called stopping yourself from having to do laundry.
Exactly right.
They give you your bag.
Yep.
You wear the clothes that you have on to practice.
Yep.
You put on those new clothes. You don't have to do laundry.
Yep. They do your laundry.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Just a little behind the curtains life.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So this is the luxury of playing college football. You can get free sweats.
Oh yeah. All right, it's time to take a fresh look on films. We're going to go back to November 22nd, 2008, BC, Wake. This is all brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of NCAA football. Look, you guys need to win this game and to win the division. Wake needs to win this game to win the division. This is a critical game here. Coach Jagosinski. Thoughts on him initially?
Jags. So first of all, Jags was like what I call it, he was a head coach. He was a really head coach. He wasn't necessarily a position guy or big on different techniques, but he knew how to motivate a team, and he knew how to delegate responsibility to his coordinators, which I do know our coordinators definitely appreciated. But
you guys had Steve Logan.
Yeah, we had Steve Logan. Frank Spaziani.
My parents both went to ECU.
Ooh.
So like I'm deep in that Steve Logan, like one of the greatest football minds just out there. I love him.
And he was great. He was so intense too.
Yes.
And he followed Dana Bible, who was at BC before that, who was I mean, he would get so red and jacked up. I remember he had some interesting conversations with Matt Ryan during his time. But yeah, no, that ECU family, and after this game, ECU got a little benefit of one of our players who ended up going there.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
We're going to get into it. So right now we're going to take a look at the big boys.
Yeah.
I mean, up front. I mean, you guys have got BJ Raji, you got Ron Brace.
Yeah.
What's it like playing behind that type of girth?
Yeah, I was going to say heft, but it's So you got number 60 and number 90 in there, and they're both 310 plus pounds. But I'll tell you what, playing linebacker behind guys like that makes your job a lot easier. And actually, one of the reasons why I'm playing a lot of times you'll see me outside the box playing Sam linebacker is because we knew that they couldn't run the ball up the middle. So whereas the previous years I had played inside linebacker, they moved me outside because they knew all the balls are going to
everything's going to bounce wide.
Yeah.
You're on the pass rush there.
Yeah.
You force the step up. They go ahead and clean up your mess.
Yep. So and that's where my coach says, do not rush past the quarterback.
What's this say? You're not supposed to go past the deepest hip of the deepest back?
Yeah, well, that's an aiming point as you get off the line of scrimmage. But then, when you don't want to rush past the quarterback.
You don't get pushed up and around.
Yeah, so I did get the dip of the shoulder. I got the arm free. I really wanted BJ to get his sack there, so he did.
There we go. So we're moving on. We're going to keep moving. We're going to pick it back up when it's like 6-0 here. We're going to keep because this game, for those of you that don't remember this football game, start off a little slow.
Yeah, well, and honestly,
it's two teams that really they want to play mistake-free football.
Well, you're also lucky to get a crowd in Wake Forest, but Wake Forest was good.
Oh, shade.
We were it's shade where shade is needed.
I know. There we go. Ooh. Fight off a block, make a tackle. Yeah. Can a tight end block you?
He shouldn't be able to. Okay. So, and in that case, he couldn't. But that's setting the edge. And then,
there we go. Now this is the one because my producer wanted to break this one down. I was like, there's nothing to break down.
Right. Well,
this is just straight athleticism, making a play. Yeah. Good hand-eye coordination.
Well, so we're at 7 minutes and it left to go in the second quarter. So they had run this play twice already.
Ooh, okay.
They hit the running back in the flat one time, and I knew that I'm coming off this edge, and if I get this same look, I'm going to try to slow play it and try to bat the ball down because I was not going to be able to get to the quarterback. So right here I see, okay, he bluffed me, so now I'm going to break down and.
Now I will say this: soft hands.
Yes. Well, I do pride myself in my ability to catch the ball, and I had 12 interceptions in my college career.
Was that soft hands, or was that Riley Skinner softening that ball out for you?
Well, I did see Riley a few years later at an event, and I thanked him for tossing that ball up to me to have that be on my stats in my highlight video. But we went out every single day before practice and hit the jugs machine and had the balls come fire at us and just give the triangle, give the diamond, give the diamond. And you watch the ball all the way in. And I had a coach of the Giants. This was before this, but he said, if you watch the ball go all the way into your hands, you're like 90% more likely to catch it than if you don't. So that's what happened there. And honestly, you get a lot of plays where you can go back and say, oh man, I read it, I did what you get lucky. And I think I got a little lucky on that play.
There we go. So not luck, this is on purpose, the eye black.
This is on purpose, yes. So I had my I want to say patent eye black, but so it started, so I was a lacrosse player in high school. And so the Powell brothers, they had like these triangles under their eyes and eye black. So I emulated them. Sure. And then the night before one of our games in 2008 against Clemson, we watched The Dark Knight as a team. And I watched The Joker, and I was like, I love how he's got those rings around his eyes. I said, I'm gonna put rings around my eyes.
So this is a Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Like a tribute.
Oh, this is a complete. First of all, I think Heath Ledger in that film was probably one of the best acting
phenomenal
jobs
job
ever done in the history of film. But yes, so this was an etymology of lacrosse, eye black, to then the Dark Knight, and then eventually the Mask formed. And number 98 there, he was my college roommate, Alex Albright, and he actually broke his neck playing earlier that year, and so I had written his number on my eye black in there. He thankfully was okay, came back, played for the Cowboys for a few years, but yeah, so that's how the eye black came about.
So we're going to take you through, so this is your eye black.
Yes.
We got some special things queued up for you.
Oh, look at Jags.
We got Jags in the eye black.
Oh, he would have looked good with that. And he had his bright white teeth with that eye black. Could have been
such white teeth.
Yeah, no. Next up, he's got a great look there, guys. That's how.
There we go. Now, for me, this is a very Ultimate Warrior-ish.
So if you guys want to understand what my father looks like, take the bottom half. His hair's a little bit thinner, but he has got that same mustache, and he has worn that eye black just like that before. So Frank Spaziani rocks that stash. Not as good as Tom Selleck, but it's
good stash.
Really good, yes.
It's a good stash. Okay, we got another one here.
Oh, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
So I do think that there are certain times when Matt could pull this off, but honestly, Matt is just, he's way too good a looking a guy to cover up that face. I mean, you see him now, he does the little one streak under his eyes on both sides.
He has just the simple swipe.
And I don't know if you've ever tried to do the simple swipe. The simple swipe is harder to do
than the mess.
Yeah, right.
Than the full.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're talking about, now let's go to the Giants. Mm-hmm. Now with the Giants, now this is a little Kiss inspired. Yeah,
so I think this is more. I don't know if you've seen the show Vikings, but Loki.
I have seen Vikings.
So Loki on Vikings. Okay. He is their master shipbuilder, and he has a similar look to this. So I did my full eye black, my first game in the NFL. I got a letter from Roger Goodell, the commissioner, saying it's excessive eye black. And apparently excessive eye black is a rule in the NFL.
Why? It's got a lot of rules.
There's a lot of rules. So he's like, if you do it again, you'll be fined. So I backed off and scaled down. And as I scaled down, this is kind of what...
This is the scaled down look.
Yeah, exactly. This is my Vikings low-key look.
Here we go. Last two. Here we go.
Oh, so talk about Road Warrior. That's the Road Warrior.
There we go.
We had a nickname motto for our team in 2011 when we won the Super Bowl with the Giants. We were the Road Warriors because we had, I think we maybe won 90% of our games on the road that year, and then our whole playoff run was on the road. So I think Coach Coughlin looks pretty good with the Road Warrior makeup.
All right, last one. What do we got? Show it to me.
Eli. Oh, E. Oh, E. There's been very rarely been a picture of E on the field. That is
super flattering.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen,
he's got the. I mean,
your face is your face.
He's got those quick pay commercials down. I mean, right there, he's saying, Saquon, come on, buy me something.
Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah, I think
I like that. This is my favorite one.
I think this is the best one of him.
This is the best one. Okay, let's get back to the game. For those that don't know, Chris Crane, your guys started quarterback. He's been knocked out.
Yeah.
Turns out he had a broken collarbone. We got Dominique Davis coming to the game.
Yeah.
And we nodded to East Carolina. Dominique Davis ends up at ECU, obviously. Yes. But look at what are you thinking when he gets into the game?
Well, so Chris Crane was the backup to Matt Ryan for many years. And a lot of people looked at him and said, okay, this is a 6'5", 215-pound quarterback who has a good arm. And he's been behind Matt Ryan. And he was able to come out in the beginning of the year a little bit slow, had a couple interceptions. But the game before, he picked up his play. He had an unbelievable game against NC State before this game. And so we were really happy and impressed with what he was doing. And so I think when he went down, he was also a senior leader and captain of the team.
So there's a little...
Yeah.
You get a little deflated. It doesn't take all the air out of your sails, but you're like, oh, man, now what?
Right. So on the defensive side of the ball, we always felt like we were a defensive football team.
Sure.
We always relied on our defense and our offensive line in terms of BC history. And we had a couple running backs who we thought were good. So we thought, okay, we had this new quarterback in.
We're up 13-0.
As long as just don't lose the game for us, right? And so we wanted to try to make sure we didn't put him in a position where he had to win the game.
Exactly. Right. So here we go. Big plays coming up here. But Dominic, And he had a heck of a career, especially at East Carolina. I mean, he threw the ball around. He developed into a quality guy. And we're going to see kind of a little, like in a micro maturation process in this football game by itself.
Yeah.
Jim Grove, he's just got the gray, steely eyes at the sideline.
Well, Jim Grove was, you look at, when we would scout teams, we would look at different,
This is tough for redshirt freshman, Dominic Davis with the fumble, Kevin Patterson scoop and score.
And like regardless of what Jim Grove thought he was coaching there, that was a little bit of a great play by his player. You can't coach that exactly.
No.
However, it was a read option play, and at this point in college football, you did not get a ton of read option plays.
No, they weren't everywhere like they are now.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you're able to capitalize on Alphonso Smith right there, who forced that fumble. I knew him specifically, not only was he a great player, but he was one of the best pump block specialists in all of college football at the time, and he did an up and under move on the wing that you actually could not stop.
I remember this group at Wake Forest, get a tackle here, flowing sideline to sideline. That group at Wake Forest this year, because would they go to the ACC championship the year before? 2 years before that?
2 years before.
2 years before. This group of seniors is like their winningest class. They got all Aaron Curry. They got, you mentioned Alphonso Smith, Kevin Patterson. Chip Vaughn was a member of that group. So this
Kyle Wilbur was on this team.
It was a special team for these. It was a special team for Wake Forest, like or a special group of guys, really.
So you want to talk? Okay, so this is one of my absolute favorite guys in all of football and friend ever, Mike McLaughlin. He was from Woburn, Massachusetts, and I just saw him recently. We were up at Boston College for the 10th anniversary of this team, actually, and he's a coach up at Woburn now.
Nice.
But so he was one of the hardest big hitters. That I had ever played with.
Well, I mean, seeing in that play before, moving to the sideline to go make. He's going to make somebody pay.
And
then we get this interception. We're going to move over to the breakdown corner.
Cool.
For this one, let's go ahead over.
Righty.
Because this is the one that I wanted to break down. Because this is a football play.
The other one just happened.
The other one happened. This is a football play. So do you remember what defense you guys are sitting in right now?
Yeah. So we are right now. We're going to be in a cover 3 defense.
So that means to everyone at home. Here, they're back. They're vertical, and you guys you're gonna play hook to up. I shouldn't have touched that. He's deep. You're gonna play hook to curl.
So I'm gonna
curl
be
to flat.
So this is gonna be like a 3 deep, 3 under with. We're gonna use Kevin Akins right here as almost like a low hole spy. On the quarterback. So when I'm lining up here and I am lined up over the number 2 receiver, but I got eyes on my number 3 receiver here. If he stays in and blocks, and I know I can stay inside of this wide receiver on his release. But as late in the play, as he blocks and releases to the flat, I know that I have to then progress outside of the upfield route. And as we run this here, my first thought, I got to get a jam on the vertical of my wide receiver. You got to get a jam.
Literally, I'm sitting there watching football this week, and I'm watching Oklahoma. They're taking on West Virginia. And I'm looking at they got a nickel. The nickel's just letting the wide receiver have a free release. I mean, he's running 6 yards to you, and then you think you can turn and run with him?
Right.
You're not that fast.
No, you're not only are you not that fast, and some of these guys, I think the defensive backs and the nickels and the corners are the most athletic people in the world.
Listen, I agree.
It can be debated, but they're running backwards as fast as someone's running forwards.
And you do get a collision on him up here.
And I am not the most athletic person in the world. So I know that I can get a collision.
You have to work back outside. Because they've got a guy in the flat. You're carrying him while still reading this and watching through the quarterback.
Exactly right. So I see this number 3, this tight end receiver, take me to the flat. So I'm going to undercut the corner route. And Riley Skinner thinks I'm going to stay inside. I was able to come back outside and
make a play,
return the ball.
So here's the big one right here. This is after you've collisioned him. You're seeing through. You can see, and I mean for folks at home, you've got hands on him, so you've got contact here. You're seeing through here to the quarterback and watching him.
Yes.
You can see all that.
So you are peripheral vision at its finest. And one of the things that you can say, okay, this was a great play by me, or this was set up by Jim Ramella getting some pressure on the quarterback. But it's how everybody works together. You get Mike McLaughlin in here; he's going to cover my inside. So I know
he's picking him up if he comes back.
So if I get any second move, I know that he's got him. If this guy goes in, I know that Mike's got him. So I feel confident in being able to cut outside of this route that we've seen in practice, and we're able to capitalize on interception.
When do you break? Hands off the ball.
Right now.
You're moving.
Intent. So one of the things that when you play a zone defense, there's two ways of playing it. You can either play a man match where you're looking at the receivers in your zone, or you can have quarterback vision defense, and you'll see all the eyes of the defenders are on the quarterback. So once the quarterback has intent, he cocks his arm back, that's when we'll make our breaks.
That's what I was always taught the same way. It was for us, when you play zone, your zone turn is open towards the quarterback. Your eyes are towards the quarterback. You carry through your zone, but eyes to the quarterback. And then when that hand comes off the ball, let's go get it.
Let's go.
Let's go get it. Let's go back. We're going to head back now. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and so we had so much of our game film based around what the other teams were doing because we were so confident in our defense and the other guys in our defense. And I think that not having a ton of injuries on our defensive side helped with that.
Okay, here we go. We got a response here. What do we got? There we go. On the screen, you see it?
Yes.
From S. Herzlich.
Yeah.
I look close enough to that. The mustache makes the man.
Yes, my the mustache is absolutely fantastic, and I think the progression of my mohawk, maybe the longest running mohawk of an adult, I would think, maybe besides Chuck Liddell of 10 plus years. My dad. I think mustaches maybe died in the 80s, but he's
just kept it strong.
Kept it strong. Yes. And he looks like a thumb without a mustache.
Oh, well, then you got to keep that mustache.
Yes.
Here we go. We got another trivia question. Mark Herzlich, the Mark Herzlich pick six at Wake Forest is one of 2 touchdowns he scored in his Boston College career. Against which other team did he score? Do you know the answer?
I do know the answer.
Let's wait. Let's let the other people answer. Here we go. They put it in the chat. We're gonna let it roll for a second. Also, I had someone in my ear ask, "Would you ever just shave it down to a mustache?"
I've tried. I don't have the pronounced upper lip to make a mustache work. So I need to fill in around.
I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got the fumble. We're gonna give the answer. Rhode Island.
URI.
Rhode Island.
URI.
There we go.
That was my other pick six.
Boom.
There we go.
I don't know what kind of cameras were happening in 2008.
And that's my patent move.
Was that your juke? Is that it?
Yeah.
Now, do you call that a juke, or is it more of a stiff arm or straight arm?
No, that is, that's called the Top Gun. You hit the brakes and let them fly right by. So right here, I hit the brakes, fly right by. And so I don't know if you remember, but in the Wake Forest, that was literally the exact same move I did before. So I don't have a ton of moves, but that worked.
That's the go-to. Because the guy who sat in this chair before you was Devin Hester. So
yeah, he has many more
couple
moves.
More moves.
Yeah.
But I respect it.
And he used some of those on me, and they're not. Thanks, Dev.
All right, let's get back into it. Wake Forest obviously just had the scoop and score opportunity. We saw your interception. We're moving on to halftime now. We're coming out of halftime, 16-7, and look, here it is. Wake Forest is kicking to you guys. You're still up by 9 points. You got your freshman quarterback in the game. This still feels like, okay, defense, we just need to control the situation.
Yeah, and I know that this week going into the game offensively, we were so worried about Aaron Curry because he had. He was up. He ended up winning the Butkus Award for best linebacker. He was sacking everybody, and so Anthony Costanzo, who played left tackle for us, he and his group were focused so much on Aaron Curry, and you see right here a very young quarterback talking to another young running back, and just the protection was gone, and they came in and buried Dominic Davis in the ground. And Kyle Wilbur right there, who I played against when he was on the Giants he was on the Cowboys, I was on the Giants on special teams. We went against each other a lot. Came up with that recovery for a touchdown.
So now they're
came right off the edge and
came free.
Yes. So and he, I don't think he'll love how he scooped that ball up. We're always taught spread your legs apart when you scoop it up. So this doesn't happen, so you don't kick
the football. Yeah.
But it ended up being
all right.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to the next tape that we've got. 16-14. Now it's a one-score game. It's a little bit tighter. Things are a little bit closer. You guys still got to figure out what you're going to do. We're going to get to this. Punting now.
Yeah.
You know that you got to come back out on the field.
So I'm on the right edge of the line right there, and I'm saying,
kind of the tackle spot.
I got that guy right there. That's the guy I got. So I'm talking to the guy behind him, and so I don't get him.
Oh man, I did not notice that the first time I watched it.
And you probably wouldn't have brought that up either, but I knew so for me, I was like, that's on me, right? So
man. So what's that feel like?
So at this point in the game, you're saying, holy crap, we have to win this game.
Yeah.
Because people tend to forget things like that when you do win. But when you lose, they'll go back and be like, oh man, who was supposed to block that guy? And and I made my living playing special teams in the NFL, and I remember after that play, I was like, that's never going to happen again. And I never had a kick blocked on me again. So
there you go.
So yes,
well, he just squeezed harder inside, and you pushed. You thought he had him push further enough in.
It was. You talk about playing an effort, and I would say I pride myself on playing the play longer and harder than everybody else on the field. That play, he played longer and harder than me on that block, and he was able to get the punter. The punter.
You think the punter took too long?
No excuses. No excuses.
So Wake's able to get a score there, and now you guys are down. So now you do have to. You talked about this, about being in a position where you didn't want to have to rely on Dominic Davis to win this football game for you. But now, fourth quarter, offenses haven't really been hitting on a ton. He's got to do something. You got to have it. So let's get to the game winning. Let's get to this.
Well, I think, right. Well, so
a little more Wake Forest.
Yeah, well, there's a tackle that we had to make sure as we cut this film up to show everybody. I had to show that at least I got one tackle.
You made some tackles.
So Ron Brace right there, number 60. Like that was what became unfair. Like it was just unfair when Ron or BJ would take an offensive lineman who
and
just didn't match up and just
move them out of the way,
completely out of the way. And I remember tackling this guy, Brandon. He was
a tough runner.
Yeah, he was like a bowling ball running up in the middle there.
There we go. What's up? We got a question coming on screen. Here we go. From Mac 15151515. Mark, who's the best player you have ever played with as a teammate?
The best player I've ever played. So I'd classify it in a few different ways. So on the defensive side of the ball, one of the most, I guess, biggest tactician and a guy who I was just amazed at how he played was O.C. Umanura. And when I remember in 2011, he would come on the field on third down, and it was just sack after sack. And watching his moves and his practice habits was unbelievable. That was with the Giants. And I think at Boston College, I got to taste like playing with Luke Kuechly, which was fantastic. And he ended up being one of the best players in the NFL right now. But that guy, Mike McLaughlin, that I talked about earlier, number 34, he was just a leader. He was tough. When you look at a middle linebacker on these 4-3 defenses, if he works his tail off every single play, all play, then he's going to make a lot of tackles, and that's what Mike did. And I've played with a lot of great players, but I think Mike is one of those guys that people might not know about who was just really a great player.
That's good to hear. They missed the field goal. You get a breath there because they don't go. They're still just up 4 instead of going up 7. They're up 4. Got a trivia here. Did Mark Herzlich have more carries or catches during his Boston College career? More catches or carries? More receptions or carries during the career?
This one stumps me.
Here we go. We're gonna listen. We're gonna listen to this one. Let's go ahead and
Starts a kick.
Oh, okay.
There's a fake. Let's see if they get the first, and I think they got enough for the first.
Look at that. Tackle me. I dare you.
It's Mark Herzlich, the All-American linebacker.
Did you guys, before the show, you guys pick it up?
Yeah, we got the first down.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. So this was the first day of the Eye Black. See, the nose bridge wasn't done?
Yeah.
But so we had this play, and I think it was great design play. It was a misdirection handoff on a punt team.
Yeah, they snap it to the up back, and then he hands it off to you.
Yeah, hands off to the wing coming across the field. And this is one of the things. You practice your fake punt every single week, right? Yep. Once or twice a week. But that guy Jags right there, he had he had the guts to make that call on fourth down, and that's how Jags talked to us. It was him doing that, and then Frank Spaziani would be.
I love it.
We get the tough guys in here.
It's like a Rocky Light.
I know. Right.
Here we go. Let's get to the gate. Let's get to this drive.
Losing my mind. Okay, go ahead.
Here we go. Man, this is.
So you got this quarterback who this is his first game.
Real action.
Yeah. And he, not only that, but he didn't practice during the week. He was playing scout team during the week. So, he's getting in here cold. And, okay, well, what do you do when the game's on the line? And, okay, short completion, fine. And right,
call a timeout. We have a question in here.
Yeah.
From the flannel expert. Hey, Mark, what's your favorite Sinbad movie?
Oh, my favorite's The First Kid. I mean,
you were ready for that one.
Oh, Sinbad. I mean, Sinbad is awesome.
I thought you were going to have to think about that for a second. First Kid.
I love First Kid. It was a great movie.
Not House Guest.
Well, I mean, it's good too, but like First Kid, I was like, I want to be the first kid at some points in that movie. And like his escape routes, it was just cool.
You can go Jingle All the Way.
So like, again, there might be like, so if I think, Dwayne Johnson is what Sinbad was, right? Just, I think he's maybe a little higher level.
Sure,
right now,
little higher level, a little more actiony.
I think I don't know Dwayne Johnson, The Rock at all, but he probably watched a couple Sinbad movies.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Probably watched some Shaq movies too.
Oh yeah, Shazam. Kazam, I mean.
Kazam. Shazam is the movie that people remember Sinbad having made that he never made. Here we go. Need a big play. Need to find a way to get things done. It's 2nd and 13. It's now turned into 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12, depending on where they spot it. Like, we're at a point now, you got to go. The clock is ticking. We're under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get this thing back if you give it to them.
Right. And so you get under 2 minutes and you say, okay, no way we can take a sack. And there was 2 sacks last 2 plays. And then
this.
Oh. Rich Gunnell on the catch. So Rich Gunnell, wide receiver, he was one of our leaders on the team too.
Sure.
And you might see in the bottom corner of this next shot if we get it. So there's Rich right there.
Yep.
And then bottom corner, Ryan Day.
Yes.
He was
Ryan. Oh wow.
Ryan Day. He was
Ryan Day,
wide receiver coach for BC.
As a former defensive back, I will say, some of that push off. Some of that push off.
I don't know.
What's some of that push off, man?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, defender to defender.
Yeah, so, okay.
They don't call it? They never call it.
Well, gosh, would you? Yeah, you're right. They didn't call it. But at the same time, like, I think the ref was looking and saying, oh, my God, this receiver is about to get killed. He's going to get killed. He's going to get killed.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's looking for that high hit.
Looking for that high hit.
Didn't see the push off.
Didn't see that push off.
But that was, like, how big of a play was that?
Huge play for your redshirt freshman quarterback. Push it down the field. He had to give him a chance, and he gave it to him.
Oh, and then
dangerous throw.
Dangerous
throw.
Brandon Robinson
comes up big.
And there's some catches that you see, and you're like, how the heck did this guy catch that?
I watched this play multiple times, trying to figure out how that ball got in there, because 2 guys looked like they got hands on it.
Yes. Well, right here, look, this is a great angle of it, too. And it got tipped.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know whether the tip threw off the swat of the defender.
That's what I was going to say. It's like the tip deflected it enough backwards that coming hand didn't get it.
Right.
Great job.
Yeah, Brandon Robinson was one of those receivers that he was never going to be the flashy guy, but he ran his routes to perfection, and he prided himself on that. And he had some looks on some NFL teams after this year too.
This is big. This is big. It's win time, right?
Yep.
Like this is you guys are BC. This is what you do.
This is right. This is what
we load up and we push.
Yes.
And there we go.
And he gets in. And I think if this was maybe 2 years earlier, Brian Toll was hurt for this, and Brian Toll was probably the top recruit out of New Jersey at linebacker, but he also played running back, and we would say first and Toll.
Yes. Oh, I remember that.
And when you get first and Toll, you would hand off to the big number 16 linebacker to get 1 yard. But we said, okay, look, we got this freshman quarterback in. Let's keep the ball on the ground. And now this 2-point conversion becomes big because you want to be up by a field goal.
Yeah, exactly.
And no. and yes,
I mean,
and no,
wow.
and yes.
Wow.
And so okay, so do you think that should be like?
Do I think it should be? No, I don't think it should be legal.
Because it's like you watch Matt Tennant on this play to the center, and he almost gets in the end zone and comes back
and drags him across.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
I think about everything from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, I know.
They never give you the yardage when you push the guy backwards.
Right.
You'll push the guy back 5 yards and they'll walk it right all the way back up.
I know.
But the offense?
I know.
What can we do to give them more yards?
Honestly, so you always love seeing that when you see your offensive
when it's your
line
team doing it, 100%.
But it gets so frustrating.
Woo.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Look there.
Moving the ball.
Look at that. Who's that? Number 34, Michael Goffin. So that's
just coming to crush.
That's the guy, and
he's coming to crush.
He will be flying around, and we're talking. He played an entire game.
Yeah, I was going to say we're at minute 59.
Yeah, so that's 30 yards down the field, and he's coming to hit.
He's flying up to hit.
Moving in the pocket and to take a little bit off that throw on the corner route.
Here we go.
Gain of 26, first and 10. Skinner under
You guys bring pressure, which I absolutely love.
Gonna run it.
Here you come.
Yep.
You guys bring pressure.
Yeah.
I love that. I get incredibly frustrated when teams go away from what they were doing all game.
Yes.
All of a sudden, we're going to rush 3, we're going to rush 2, and we're going to give them a lot of time. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. Are you
number 90.
I mean, he just ate his lunch.
And so, and that was another situation where we did bring pressure. I came off the edge, but we dropped 2 DNs. So that's the beauty of having BJ inside, being able to force that pressure up the middle. And then, he forced him to scramble outside and get a little extra pressure and hit him above the knee, below the waist, so it stays legal. And
go out there, make it hard for him. Don't give him an easy throw.
Right.
And then boom, this is 4th and 5.
Right. So at this point, you say, okay, what are you thinking defensively as the coordinator? What do I need to tell my guys? And it's obviously do not jump off sides. Don't give them extra time. And so, right there, obviously we just called timeout. Like Jim Romello, one of our senior defensive linemen, saw something that he didn't like, or he knew that we had to go over something.
Yeah.
Right. So
we got something we got to fix.
So don't jump off sides, don't get a penalty, and don't get a pass interference. So I mean, we get pressure. We had let Riley Skinner outside the pocket a bunch, so we wanted to make him step up.
Boom.
And to me, that's the throw you want to have that quarterback make on 4th and 5.
On the move, can't put power, can't put anything behind it, can't put any juice on it. If he has the time, he can put that thing towards the back of the end zone. That guy's running underneath it.
Oh, and I think he actually had, as he looks at the film coming back, he had a running back in the flat on that play who could have easily gotten the 5 yards needed. But, as right here, as he's dropping back and he feels BJ and then I'm coming off the edge, he steps up and look over to his right.
Yeah, he's got a guy. You're right.
He's got that guy in the flat, but he's not able to see that because of the pressure. And then Wes Davis and Paul Anderson make a big play. And
there he is. He's excited.
Yeah, it's like at an anchor man when they come out and they do that jump in the air. That's what Jags jump is like right there.
All right, we're going to do the last trivia question here. The first person to answer the following question in the chat room is going to win free hamburgers for a year and a team jersey, courtesy of Wendy's, the official hamburger of NCAA football. You don't. This is the one we got to give this one away.
Yeah.
So here we go. Who was Boston College's opponent when Mark Herzlich made his return to football in 2010? We're gonna let the folks in the chat handle that one. So, and yes, also your dad can't win.
No, yeah, right. S. Herzlich, mustache man. Whoever gets second.
So talk to us about coming back, about what that was like for you, taking that time off, and then obviously, we've already got a winner. Simmer says Weber State.
Ooh, Weber State is right. Weber State is right. So and Weber State, I think when that schedule was made, I don't know if anyone at Boston College doing that scheduling said, okay, this is going to be one to go down in the books as a great game at Boston College. But what made it great and made it special, it wasn't the fact that I came back and I was able to play again. It was the fact that over the entire year where I had chemotherapy and radiation and surgery, Boston College invested into my fight against cancer. It was the students that I know. We had a guy who I didn't even know at the time. He did a music concert in our cafeteria. It was 24 hours of constant music by students just to raise money for this cancer. My teammates put on a Lift for Life, which in 28 days they raised $30,000 for Ewing sarcoma research. And so that first game back became not just about like Mark Herzlich coming back, but BC, Boston College, transformed from Boston College to beat cancer.
Yeah.
That's what BC stood for that day. And people had the eye black on. We had, the band wore the eye black. The cheerleaders wore the eye black. Even Baldwin, our mascot, had the eye black. So, that game became special for Boston College as a community. To me, I appreciated what the school did, but you saw that resilience in that city over and over and over again, and then you saw it most recently with the bombing at the race. It is an unbelievable, strong-willed city and town.
Watching, this is coming out, it was against Notre Dame, I believe.
Yeah.
It's just, look, talk about what it was like. There it is. I mean, I just got goosebumps.
I mean,
yeah.
What's better in college football?
Yeah. You're there with your teammates. You're ready to rock and roll.
Oh, yep. I just got the goosebumps too. So, I mean, so there's certain things that are special about this game. There's obviously the close games. There's the high scores. It's the potent offenses, the defense that can get pressure. But it's the college football teams. You're never closer to a group of guys in your entire life than you are on a college football team. You go to the NFL and yeah, locker rooms are cool and you're there, but guys go home.
Yeah, they got family.
When you go home in college,
you're going home with
those same people. Friends, to dorms.
Yeah, you're going home with those same people. Going home is just, okay, well, we're gonna go back to this dorm room or we're going back to our apartment where I live with you.
Yes, yeah.
There's this romanticism of it. At the end of the day, it's just a bunch of dudes that do every single thing together.
And you know everything about your roommates, and they know everything about you. And how often in your life do you get other than maybe your marriage?
Yeah.
But how often do you have somebody who knows everything about you?
They know what your schedule is. They know this guy doesn't take enough showers.
Yeah. Right. And if you miss a class, they're calling your roommate and say, "Hey, where was Mark?
Where was he?
Because
What's
they
happening?"
know.
Yeah, no, it's one of those times.
How good would it be to just go back?
Man, I don't.
It's
a lot. It was a lot of lifting weights, not a lot of sleeping.
Yeah. Right.
But man, it's just, you're right. It's one of those moments. It's a time in life that is so remarkably different from everything else. Like, we're adults now. We have jobs. You have wife?
Yeah, wife and new baby boy.
How old?
6 months old.
6 months?
Yep.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his name's Boston.
There we go.
So
boom.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I think marriage is the only time. And the difference is when you're married, nobody's like, we throw Gatorade on each other in the shower.
Right, yeah.
So
it depends on your marriage.
As long as my wife doesn't do that to me.
As long as my marriage is going really well, then throwing Gatorade on the shower.
No problem.
That'd be fine.
But but we used to, nothing, I remember, I'm thinking about being in the locker, I think about going to the showers and then when you're getting out of the shower, turning it to cold.
Oh.
Getting out of there.
Yep.
Hey man, there's a shower open. Guy walks right in.
Yep.
Oops.
One of these guys, Robert Francois, who number 35, and the other lineman. So it was myself, Michael McLaughlin, Robert Francois, who played in the league for the Packers for a long time. He was the guy wwho you put off the bus first. He looked like he was maybe 35 years old. He was huge, jacked, strong. He had a deep voice and laughed, and you're like, oh, okay, this is creepy. Like you're a villain in a movie with Nicolas Cage as the action hero. But we had one of our guys on our team make this song, and his name is Robert Francois. We call him Rofran.
Yep.
And it was like when the lights turn off in the shower. Rofran, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
That's just what it was.
Yeah.
I totally get it. We already congratulated our winner. That is correct.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Free burgers for a year?
Free burgers for a year and a jersey. Congratulations.
Yes.
Woo. we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do a quick promo here.
Yeah.
We got a programming note for On Stadium 2. You can check us out right here on Stadium 2, the Twitch channel, every Friday night for The Meta. The Meta is a show hosted by Danny Pasquarelli and Kyle Pillow Barrows. They run down all the latest news from across the esports universe. They play the hottest games and more. Mark, man, thank you for watching, folks. Thank you for watching Fresh Look on Films, presented by Wendy's, the official hamburger of NCAA football. Mark Herzlich, thank you so much for being here. Join us next Thursday, December 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern, same place on Twitch at Stadium 2, when former Florida State wide receiver Anquan Bolden will be our guest. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
I wish. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to watch that because
I am looking forward to talking to him as well. One of the toughest guys to play football.
It's toughest guys to play football and one of the smartest guys you'll ever be around.
Absolutely.
I've been in different NFLPA negotiations with Anquan, and like his ability to, his tactician with words and his brain is it's fantastic.
Off the charts. Mark, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you to the fans in the chat and the computer. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Just 28 total yards for Wake Forest. This one's kicked off. They're going to bring this to the house. Herzlich for a touchdown. What a play.